Hi everyone, my name is Bethany Vichanowski and I'm an associate attorney at Lasserell Law Group, which is an employment law firm based in Chicago, Illinois. Today I want to talk to you about an important Illinois law, the Gender Violence Act, or the GVA, which is undergoing some pretty drastic changes which will take effect on January 1st of 2024. So the GVA has actually been in place since 2004, but the new amendments that are taking place in 2024 will clear up how the GVA affects employees in the workplace specifically. Now, the first thing I want to discuss is what is gender violence and who does the GVA protect? Does it only protect women? Does it also protect men? Where do non-binary folks come into the equation? Now, the truth is the GVA protects everyone. It protects everyone from intimidation, protects everyone from threats of physical violence, it protects them from unwanted or offensive touching on their body, and it protects them from actual acts of physical violence. The key to the protections under the Gender Violence Act are that these unwanted behaviors have to be perpetrated based on a motivation of choosing a target based on their gender. So if someone is acting violently towards someone else, specifically on the basis of their gender, that violent act is prohibited under the GVA. So how does the GVA work in the workplace? The new amendments specifically refer in the law to employee-employer relationships. So employers have obligations in order to keep gender violence out of the workplace. Employers have to do certain things such as training their employees, monitoring their employees, and investigating claims of gender violence in the workplace. If an employer should fail to do one of these tasks that they're obligated to do under the GVA, and an employee experiences gender violence in the workplace as a result of that failure, that employee under the GVA can sue their employer for the gender violence that they experienced. So if that employee is successful in a court of law, they win their case, they could be entitled to a couple different kinds of relief. Now, the first kind of relief is injunctive relief. So that means that the employer could be ordered by the court to do something or to stop doing something that they were doing previously. So if the employer, for example, had failed to train their employees properly under the GVA in the past, an example of injunctive relief might be that the court would order them to implement a training procedure. The other kind of relief that an employee might get is monetary relief. Now, anyone who is exposed to gender violence will be experiencing trauma and emotional distress as a result of that. Emotional distress damages are a monetary award from the employer to the employee in order to attempt to compensate them for that emotional distress and trauma that they're dealing with as a result of the gender violence that they faced. Another type of monetary award that the employee might receive is punitive damages. So the court may order the employer to pay the employee a certain sum of money in order to punish the employer for failing to meet their obligations under the law. And finally, the employer may be responsible to pay the employee's attorney's fees that they incurred as a result of bringing this lawsuit to enforce the GVA against their employer. So that was just a super brief overview of a complicated law, but I hope it was helpful to you. And if you have any questions or concerns about maybe your situation or how the GVA affects your workplace, please reach out to us. We'd be really happy to clarify anything that we can or provide any assistance. So thank you for listening. Bye-bye.